Let's see what we can do about finding a job in Switzerland. So first thing is you have to be clear on what type of jobs you're looking for. And as soon as you're clear on what type of jobs you're looking for, then it's easier to focus. Because most people, they don't understand this, but there's lots of jobs. And there's jobs that you're willing to do and jobs that you're not willing to do. And sometimes you lose focus because you think, I'm willing to do everything because I want the money. But then when you actually get to the job, you're like, I'm actually not willing to do that. And this also reflects on how much energy and time you're spending looking for the job. You understand what I mean, or not really?
Okay.
It's very important to understand that. So for example, you can work in construction. Do you want to work in construction?
Not really.
Exactly. So when you say to me, I'm going to go look for a job in construction because I have to find a job, but then you go there and you talk to the guy and then he says, there's no jobs, and you say, oh, there's no jobs. It's because you don't want to work there. It's not because there's no jobs. So if you want to work in construction, let's say you want to work in construction, what you do is, just an example, there's agencies all over the city, and you go to these agencies and you knock on the door with a CV in German and in English, which means you take your CV, you write it in English, you write it in German. If you don't know how to write in English, if you don't know how to write in German, you put it in ChatGPT and you make it translate every line and you copy paste and you make it look nice, but the lines themselves, you made ChatGPT. It's a lot of work, but you have to do that. And then you make a CV for construction. So you say, I really like lifting heavy things, you know. I worked with my father, blah, 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 in the house the whole day. I did this project. You make up shit. Doesn't matter. You make up shit. I worked, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then you go with this CV to all the construction companies and you give them your CV. And in English and in German, you make copies of everything so that you come there. You don't go and you say, oh, do you need a copy? Oh, I can send you per email because I don't want to print it because it costs me 30 cents. If you talk like this, they listen and they hear, this guy, young, doesn't understand how the market works, doesn't know how to do things, it's going to be always questions, always how to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. You know, you don't tell them about your problems, you tell them about your solutions. And it's so easy to print. For 30 cents, you just print 20. And you go around and you give it. And they say, oh, you're looking for a job? And you say, here's my CV. I can also send it per email, but you can have a printed paper of it just so you have it. And then you leave it there and then it stays on their table for a few days. And they remember you the whole time because they have 50 other people, but they remember you because you put it on their table, you know? These are really important things. And then you go to 15 different construction agencies and you talk to the guy and you smile when you're there. You say, hey, what's up? Good morning. I love working. You know, I came here to work. And after you do that for like 2 hours in the morning, you go again the next day to the same places you were today. And you say, hey, good morning. Did you find me a job? And they look at you and they say, what the fuck? You were here yesterday. And you say, I know, but I really want a job. Don't you have a job for me? And then they smile and they say, this guy's funny. Okay, he's consistent. He came twice, 3 times, 4 times. I have a job for you. That's how you find a job, especially in construction, because they have so many people and you have to be nice, smiling, cool, good vibes, come with a CV, show them that you're there, consistency, come again and again and again and again. And then they say after 2-3 days, they say, yeah, I have something. You know what? You're a nice guy. Let's give it to you. Done. And then you have to be available. You have to have a Swiss number. You get a free number, free SIM card. You put the number on the CV. The address on the CV is not your address in Poland. It's your address here. And you don't write on the CV that you don't speak German. You write like you speak German. I can show you my CV. It's like this. Basically, this is a little bit too much for a construction work. They don't really care if you speak German or not. But in general...
Can you make me an in the room?
Can what?
Can you make me a more in the room?
Can I make you an admin?
Yeah.
In which room?
This one?
Sure. You're a moderator now. So,
Okay.
over here you see, I have here English, German, same level, high. But I don't write, I speak English natively. German is my second language. Why would I write that? They can think whatever they want to think. I just write German and English, same level. And then they say, oh, you speak German? I say, yes. And then they say, oh, but it says here the same level of English. Yeah, it's a pretty good German. That's it. Because if you add details that make you look bad, don't need those details. So you see here, I put Swiss German, I put a little bit lower than Hebrew, than English and German. If you make Polish, English, and then Swiss German, and then German, and you put Polish full, English a little bit less, and then German a little bit less than English. And then they ask you, how much German do you speak? And you say, I'm learning. And that's it. And that's it. It's less than English, right? You didn't lie. And then they say, why do you have it here like this? And they say, it's less than English, but I'm learning. And you're not lying. You're just being very pushy and very clear about what you want in life. And you're presenting yourself in a really good way. And people in Switzerland, they love that. Because it shows that you're ambitious. It shows that you really want it. It doesn't show that you're lying. It doesn't show that you're hiding stuff. It shows that you're trying hard. It shows that you know what you want. And it shows that, yes, you're going to learn German very quickly because you're doing it already. It's already there. It's already, you're done. You know German already. A few words and you're getting there, but you know German. That's the attitude always, When they ask me, do you know German? You say, next week I'm going to be fluent. That's it. You just say it. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. And that's the attitude, They want to see the attitude. Of course you don't speak German, but if you say, no, German is so difficult, I don't know, I'm going to try, maybe, I have a course maybe that I'm going to start in 2 months. You say, I'm on it, next week I'm going to be fluent, you have no idea how much I'm trying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I already say a few words, maybe you've practiced a sentence that they always ask, and you say this sentence in perfect German. I did that with some guys. You just say, you practice a sentence and you say it with a good accent, just one sentence, and you say, ich kann noch nicht Deutsch, I don't speak German yet. Ich kann noch nicht gut Deutsch, I don't speak German yet, aber ich bin dran. That means I'm on it. Mm-hmm. And it's a very cool sentence to say, aber ich bin dran. And they think, oh, that's funny, he already knows a good sentence, a funny sentence, a nice sentence. It's going to take no time for him. I can see it's going to take no time for him to learn. But it's only that one sentence, yeah? And then they don't really need you to speak German. They don't need it because you're already in a job. They're already teaching you. It's just the feeding that you give them at the beginning. So that's that. My CV is a little bit of an overkill. You don't need all this for a construction job. But like I was saying at the beginning, you have to have a clarity on what you want to work. So let's go through a few topics, yeah? Construction, no-go, right? Then we have supermarkets. You can go to all the supermarkets and ask them one by one, how do I work here? How do I work here? And then the workers in the supermarket, they will tell you how they got the job. And then you will understand, I need to fill in the website. Okay, can you help me? And then you give them your phone and you say, look, I tried, I didn't manage. And they say, no, you have to click here. No, actually I did it like that when I was there. They remember because you showed them. And if one worker is not being nice to you, then you go to the other worker. There's 5 to 10 workers in every supermarket here in Switzerland, and there's so many supermarkets. So you go one supermarket, another supermarket, another supermarket. And yes, some of them are going to tell you, what a waste of time, you don't speak German, it's not going to work for you. And you tell those people, sorry, don't believe you, next worker. And if they're in front of your face, then you try to say, but you also have a job here, right? Was it like that for you as well? You confront the other worker and you say, was it like that? Is it really that difficult to find a job? And maybe the other worker says, no, for me it was easy. And suddenly you get into a better conversation with someone who's more positive and he's going to help you more. And these conversations help you, they help because you learn how to find a job in the supermarket. And also, I don't know all of the things that you can do, but you're here and you ask people again and again and again. And there's so many supermarkets and there's so many people who don't speak German and don't even speak English in the supermarkets. So nobody can tell you that it's not possible. It's just, they tell you it's not possible because they don't want you there, If you speak to a Swiss older woman and she doesn't like foreigners and you ask her at the supermarket, if you can get a job here, she's going to tell you no, not possible, because she doesn't want you to find a job in any supermarket in Switzerland. She wants you to go back to Poland. But if you ask a nice young Indian lady who doesn't speak much English or German, how do you find a job here? She might be nice to you and she might say, oh, I managed to go like this. You know? So you have to ask everyone. If you see someone's rude and not nice, just say, okay, your experience was it's not possible, no problem. Let me try with your coworkers. Let me try with someone else. And then you have supermarkets, construction, you have hotels, working at a hotel, working at a hostel, working at a some kind of place where you sit at the counter and you help people do stuff. So you like other stores as well, like an ice cream store. I had a friend here who didn't speak German at all, only English. She's from Iran. She didn't even have a fucking passport to work here, you know? She was a student, so she had a few hours she could work, but still, it's like she went and found herself a job in an ice cream store. So it's possible, and it's a lot of money. And then you just go to all the ice cream stores in town, and you ask each one of them, especially now in the summer, are you looking for workers? And again, the same idea. It's not, are you looking for workers? Oh, you're not looking for workers? Okay. Are you looking for workers? Next day, hey, now are you looking for workers? And the next day, oh, I came again, because why not? Are you still looking? Are you still not looking? And then maybe after 3-4 times they say, you know, this guy is so consistent, always coming. That means he's active. That means he's really like he's capable of doing things in life. So I'm going to take him now. I'm going to get rid of my other worker. He's annoying. Can't talk to him. Always not coming. Always late. I'm going to try with this new guy that came 4 times every day in the morning at 8 o'clock. He was there. You know? That's what makes the difference. And not only the ice cream stores, but like I said, all the other stores as well. Yes, you can also try less hard. You know, you walk around in the city, you're tired, you go and you say, here's my CV. It might work. Why not? You can try that as well. But if you focus on what you really want, if you really want an ice cream store, you really focus on it, then yes, you have to get up at 8 o'clock and go there at 8 o'clock and put the CV, and then again at 8 o'clock, and then again say hi, and then again, and say, can I speak to your boss? What's the number of your boss? Can I call him now? Here's my number. I leave my number. Oh, can you ask your boss? Can you tell me if you asked your boss? Can you keep me updated about the answer? Push. And in all these places, so many places that are just, they just have people here and they don't know what to do, and they're looking for someone good, they're looking for someone who's active, you know? And if they find someone active, it's nice for you as well. You can also find a job in construction, but you prefer to find a job where you're using your mind, you're being active, and you don't have to do physical work, yeah? So these are the options. And then, as I said, the construction, the supermarkets, the hotels, the hostels. There's so many hotels here, so many not so many, 2-3 hostels, and you just go there and you ask and you push and you say, I like travelers, I like this, I like that. And the hotels, you say again, I can work in the cleaning, I can work in the... You start like that, and then if they say yes to the cleaning, you say yes, no problem, but actually I speak good English, so maybe I can also work in the counter, and then you start in the cleaning for 1 month, or you keep it as an option. That's also something in the mindset that you have to always remember. The mindset has to be yes to everything, and when they say yes, then you say yes again. Excited yes, always excited yes, always, wow, this is amazing, my dream job, even if it's cleaning the toilets in the hotel, doesn't matter. They want to see this appreciation. Then they give you a contract. Before you sign the contract, or even after you sign the contract, you can cancel the contract. But if you want before you sign the contract, if you don't want after you sign the contract, then you make the decision, no, I have a better job. You can sign a contract and you can cancel it, just so you have a backup. But you never show them that you're not interested. Never, ever, ever. And that's another point. You never tell them that you're leaving. In your mind, you're here to stay. You're here to stay, you're here to learn German, you're here to stay in this country. You love Switzerland, you love the Alps, you love the weather, you love the nature. You love it that it's so tidy here. Tidy and organized, and everybody's nice, and this country is amazing, and you want to stay here forever. And you're going to build up their business with them because you love flowers. And all your life is going to be flowers with their business now. That's it. That's the focus. And then it's a bit of an asshole move, so you have to know if you want to do this asshole move with who. With who yes, with who no. But that's what's going to help you. If you say, I love this, and I want to be a florist, and I want to stay in Switzerland, and I want to learn German, and these things don't have to be a lie. Maybe you want to do this, but maybe you want to do this 20%. 80% you want to do something else. 20% you want to learn the language, you want to you just focus on 20% when you're talking to them. Don't bring the undecisefulness. Don't bring the fact that you're not decided yet into the conversation. Don't say, actually, I'm thinking maybe next week I'm going to leave. Maybe I should, maybe I stay half a year and then I leave. Don't say that. Think it, don't say it. Say, yes, I think it's a very, very, very possible option for me. Possible 2%, but it's a very possible option for me to stay in Switzerland for a long, long time. And I really like it here. And I like this and this and that and this and this. And then you keep on pushing that. As soon as you mention that you don't want to stay, they will fire you. So even if you got a job and you say you don't want to stay, they will fire. They will change in seconds. You think you're nice and they're nice. You make one mistake and you're nice to them because they're nice to you. One mistake and you're done. That's it. They just say, oh, you don't want to stay? Sorry, we found someone else. It's better for us. Apologize, it's business. And then you're fucked. And that's it. So you have to really stay on focus. Always I want to stay, always I want to, yeah. Then, what other jobs do you have here? You have, you can work in the Brocky house maybe, like these stores that sell secondhand things. You can work in warehouses, like you said. I don't know how to find that. Maybe you can Google the names of big companies and just look for their website and try to figure out how to register. Or just walk around in some area which has a lot of people that work in that field and just ask them one by one. There's probably going to be a lot of Polish people. Maybe catch a Polish guy and say, hey, what's up? How do we find a job here? Can you help us? Which website do we use? Which this, which that? You just got to try to catch the people's attention. That's how it works, you know. Maybe in the Netherlands you just online register for 5 minutes and you get a job, but it's not a lot of money. Here you have to make an effort. You have to go, you have to speak to people, you have to figure out how it works, figure the trick, and then, yeah. Okay, what other fields do you think you can work in? What is your specialization? What is things that you really enjoy doing? What is things that you can do?
Kitchen, probably.
Kitchen, yeah, you can cook.
Yeah,
You can cook or you can wash the dishes. Go to all the restaurants and say, hey, I want to wash the dishes, I want to cook. Again, if you want to do something that you really like, then you have to put more energy into it. You have to go early, you have to ask a few times, you have to check, you have to make connections. If you want to do something that's difficult to do physically, but easy to find, then washing the dishes. Go to every store and say, hey, I want to wash your dishes. Can I do that? Yeah. What other stuff?
I don't know, maybe I can even work at somebody's place flat, like clean the, I don't know, garden. Like
The gardening, that's a very good one. Gardening, yeah. You don't like gardening? It's hard gardening. But you can garden if you want. You have to think, you have to get inspiration. You have to meet a lot of people. If you stay here, you meet a lot of people and then you get inspiration. You work in this? You work in that? And you get an idea of what you like and what you can motivate yourself to do. Gardening is very hard, actually. But working in people's houses, it's not really possible. There's not many. I have a friend, she's actually looking for someone. I think she's going to pay like 100 or 200 for a few hours of work. But that's not real money. It's not like, you don't get the 3,000-4,000 from that. The 3,000-4,000 is a job with a salary, and it's not like I found someone to do something. What you can definitely do is, if you want to work at people's houses to clean, you can go to a cleaning agency. There's lots of cleaning agencies, and the cleaning agency is not going to be someone's house. It's probably going to be an office, and it's going to be hard work. And a lot of women work there, and a lot of women, I'm sorry to be like a bit racist, but a lot of women from Africa work there. And they are hard-working people. And if you look at their hands, their body is soft, their hands are hard, because they work really hard, and they have this very hard skin. It's a bit racist, this world is racist, but they have hard skin on their fingers. It's all hard, and they're women, and they don't like it that they have hard skin, but they work hard, and they send the money back to Africa usually, and you're going to compete with them if you do that. And I have a friend who did that, Jose. He worked here, construction. In the evening, he went to the cleaning industry, And this cleaning job, like you say cleaning, no problem, I put this over there, cleaning. No, 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 no. It's gonna be cleaning with your hands, scrubbing. All your hands are dirty, soft from the water, and then painful, and then afterwards the chemical stuff that you have to use, and then again, and hours, and vacuuming, and every day again and again, and then they come and they control you, and the environment is not nice because these are people that they work a lot with other people like that, and they don't know the communication is not good, and they're very mean to you because they have a lot of people who work, so they just say, we don't need you, we get someone else, and they're not nice to you, and the environment is hard, the same as gastronomy, the same as cooking and that cleaning in the restaurants. It's not only about the hard work, it's about the hard people that you're working with that are not happy with their lives and they're not nice to you, and it's really, really draining. It's a really difficult thing. Oh, you can also work in pizza stores. You go to the pizza stores, say, hey, can I make pizza? That's a bit nicer. A lot of times it's family brings family, you speak Italian, so it's difficult to find. There's Indian restaurants, there's Chinese restaurants. If you're not Chinese, you're not Indian, you're not Arab, Afghani, Muslim or whatever. Sometimes they will say, if you go to these kebab stores, you see everybody looks the same, and then there's not going to be a blonde Polish guy standing behind and making falafel. It just doesn't happen. You can try, you can go and say, hey, what's up, let me try. Maybe they give you a chance, maybe they don't, but you have to more if you don't want to waste your time there and you don't really want to work there, then maybe don't try too hard. But it's possible, especially the pizzas are a bit easier, especially with the brands, maybe McDonald's. Go to the website, McDonald's is very diverse, they take anyone, they don't care, it's just automated system. McDonald's, all these, franchises, you can check them out and try them. It's hard work, but it's not that bad.
What about Uber Eats, for example?
That's very easy. Uber Eats is very easy. We have 2 people already that register for Uber Eats here. You can ask Philip how to do it, and I think Yosander did it as well. I think they give you a bike. A lot of people start like that. Uber Eats, it's called Just Eat as well. There's another one called Just Eat, I think. And you can ask people here, and then you just you have to fill in the form. It's a lot of bureaucracy. You have to fill in everything, but you can ask Philip how to do it, and you have to put your passport and this and that and this and that, and then you just get it. Especially because you're Polish, they don't care. You have the passport, done, and then you get a contract, and then it's really hard work because you're on the bicycle the whole time, and you're getting stuff, and you're going somewhere, and you're going back, and you're going somewhere else, and you're going back, and you're going somewhere else, and see, that's something that I didn't even think about. I don't know, maybe you can work as a delivery person. We were asking the Asian store around the corner if they need someone, and they said, yeah, you have a car? And then you say no, and that's it. But if you say yes, they say, we can offer you 3-4K a month. So you buy a fucking car for 1,000 francs, and that's it. You get 3-4, that's it, done, So you always say yes. Always yes, 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 yes. Until it's the last day, and you have to start the job. Then you say, I got a problem, I've got to solve a problem. And then you find a car. And that's it. If you don't find a car, then you ask some people, you try to rent a car, it's worth the money still. And if you don't, then you say, sorry, I thought I would have a car. I don't. What you gonna do? We have to cancel the contract. And that's it. Next. You always yes, 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 yes. That's the philosophy. So Just Eat, we said, Uber Eats, and maybe Uber in general. You can work as a taxi driver. I don't know if that works here. Maybe taxi agencies. I don't think it would work. It's a bit more difficult, but you can try if you like driving, if it's something that you're passionate about, and you can really learn very fast how to, go through the streets here and everything. You can definitely try that. One more thing that I have in mind, if you're really, really, really focused and you really want to do like hard work, then what you can do is, you can you get the door for a second? Yeah. Sorry, thanks. What you can do is you can try to help me or other people to build a business. And then together with them, try to find different ways to make revenue. So Ludo is trying something, you can ask him if he needs help. I think it's about finding people a job actually. So if you learn how to find a job, like what I told you, and you internalize this information, and then you go with someone else to find them a job, and then you give. Ludo is good with communication, so you do it together with Ludo. But maybe there's a few people that need a job, and maybe you bring a lot of Polish friends, and then maybe and then you tell them, listen, I put energy into finding you a job. You pay me 500 francs from your first salary. You don't have to pay me anything. Your first salary, 500 francs. I find you the job, I make sure that you get the job, and as soon as you got the job, I get the 500 first francs. And it's totally worth it for them, because they wouldn't do it without you, and then instead of getting 4,000, they get 3,500. Big deal, a little bit less, but still, they wouldn't have gotten a job without you. And then the next month, they get 4,000, and then the next month, another 4,000. So they have no reason to say no to you. You tell them, if you find it, they get this money. If you don't find it, they don't lose anything. That's one business idea. Another one that I'm looking at very carefully is Airbnb. If you want, and I can see that I can work with you and I can trust you, and you've got a lot of energy to do it, and you want to do it, we can get you an apartment. You can live there together with 4 other rooms, and each room is rented. And all you do all day is the washing, and putting on the thingy, and communicating with the people, and being nice, and making sure that it's clean, and furnishing, and this, and that, and this, and and then you just live there, so you get the free apartment to live, and the other stuff, you just make money, and then maybe it's not 3,000-4,000 anymore, because it's not realistic to make 3,000 or 4,000 K, especially not at the beginning, but it's not hard work. It's not like, it's thinking work, it's not construction every day and killing yourself, and it's also you're working for yourself. You decide when to wake up, you decide when to clean, when not to clean. I mean, the customer also decides. If there's a customer, you have to be ready. But most of the time, most of the tasks to do are very flexible. And the more you do them, the better.
Excuse me.
Yes, what's up?
Admin, please.
What?
Make me admin the room again.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm finishing now. So yeah, that's another option. You can do Airbnb. You can try to manage, and of course, this is a business for you at the end of the day, because if you make another one, and then you have 3 apartments, 4 apartments, a lot of work, but a lot of reward afterwards. And then it's not about, I help at the beginning and I offer something, and maybe we split the costs, especially if you don't do a lot of work and I'm helping you a lot. We split some of the costs. We motivate each other to do more work, so we make more money. We can use the project. People can help as well, because they're staying for free, so they can do some stuff for free. But at the end of the day, you are learning how to make a business. You are learning how to, do this. And then if you have enough money after a few months, you can go and get your own apartment, because you learned how to do it. And then you can go and do it all alone. Yeah. Grüß dich. Hoi.
I'm Augustine.
Oh, Augustine, you came a bit early. Okay, so I'm going to finish I'm going to finish the video. Anything else you wanted to say?
I think that's all for now.
That's all?
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Pleasure, no problem. Any other topics? Any other questions or
yeah,
something?
I think so, but maybe later we will have still some time to.
Yeah, let's make another video with your questions then, because I think it's important. Also, you said Uber Eats. Maybe there's other options, other kind of fields that you're interested in. Think about it. Try to think about it. Okay.
Yeah, I think, and then come to you with some questions.
Cool.